Locked on target.
Hi crew, Captain Chris here with this next week's Gamerlife level. Oh wait a second, we aren't doing it at levels anymore, which I'm sure Evan is super happy about, because then I can't rib him about forgetting it, but I can rib him about there being no levels. So haha, I can always forever rib Evan for something, because that's what we do, bro. And anyways, I am very excited about this week's Gamerlife, which is style versus substance in essence. And this is going to be one of my favorite episodes to do. So let's get started. There are so many games that place emphasis on style and such, having beautiful skyboxes and have decent gameplay loops, but are missing one of the core elements of gameplay. And man, do I have the number one game that describes this in my mind, and that is Destiny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's get into this. I have over about 280 hours into Destiny. Alright, so I've played this kind of hardcore. Haven't gone back to it in 5 months. I will tell you why. Because the story and substance of that game is nil. But man, does that game look pretty. It checks all the right boxes. It does everything that you could want. But instead of giving the blockbuster experience, it goes the other way around. It gives a minimalistic experience, and I have no reason to be doing what I'm doing. Instead, it's all a loot-based driven box. It's kind of akin to a Flash game. A very pretty Flash game that is just the gameplay loop over and over and over and over again. There's nothing there that inspires me. There's nothing there that drives me, that changes me, that informs me. There is nothing, no story in that game whatsoever, other than, like, maybe a loose children's story kind of storytelling, where they're trying for this abstract concept to make it broad enough for everyone, but when they make it so broad, it means nothing, because it equates down to good versus bad, go kill dark. That's the gist of. There's no complexity in Destiny, and the DLC may have fixed it, but again, you're paying for for something that may have completed it, but I haven't gone back and played House of Wolves or whatever it is, nor will I play The Taken King, because it just didn't, the core concept didn't deliver. So I want to go on the other way, a game that has been too much spectacle to the point where I would not play its substance. And that would be my first time through Star Ocean: The Last Hope. I remember playing through, and I'm recording this for the channel now. I don't know what I'm going to do to edit it out or edit it down or whatnot, but it's going to be, there has to be some kind of change. Maybe I'll just make the first episode like all the cutscenes in the beginning stuff. But there was a half hour before you really get to play anything of just cutscenes, and I don't mean well-told cutscenes. I mean, like, we had to put together a video game cutscene to communicate 5 concepts. Leaving Earth, this is a young team, we have to set up the villain, and we got to do X, Y, and Z. But they take 30 minutes when it could be done easily in 5. Okay, 5 minutes. If I was director of that game, I could come up with a cohesive way to get across all of those points in 5 minutes and do it in a flashier way than what was done, saving on budget as well as saving on characters' time. I believe that 30 minutes of cutscene was not well used, and not saying that I'm against Star Ocean in general, but when I first played through it, because it's been on my backlog, I watched that 30 minutes of cutscene, got killed in the first cave because you don't really have a place to buy items and whatnot, and if you get stuck and you're a person like me who fights all of the enemies on screen and whatnot to kind of level up. I don't avoid enemies when I go through stuff. You're gonna find yourself you can't get through the first dungeon. You can't get through the first cave because you literally do have to avoid enemies. Otherwise, you can't get past it. I rage quit the game. I was like, no, this might have some promise somewhere, but I quit that game. I'm now going back to it because only because B said it was a good game. Okay, underneath all of that, and for me, if I give a game 30 minutes and you fail to impress me, boom, you're out. Okay, I just don't have time for putting 100 hours into a game now to get maybe 5% of what I would have gotten. I've even gotten selective with my anime now. I'm like, I'm not watching a 400 long episode anime. I want series that are 12 to 24 episodes because that's what it is. All right, but I want to address another concept that I've been noticing occur in gaming culture in general. We go into games with a specific genre in mind. So when we go into a game, we don't really go into it with the best descriptors available to us. And what I mean by this is, when we're in the mood for an action flick, sometimes even if you don't like action movies, you just want some action movie. And then, so you go and watch The Expendables or whatever else you want to watch. Whatever action movie you want to watch. I like The Expendables because it's a bunch of old references and cool action scenes and, but, that type of thing. But back on track. That's not a movie that I'll watch every day, nor do I want to watch an action movie or action flick every day. Very rarely am I in the mood for an action movie, and tell you the truth, anime typically does action sequences better, bigger and better, because that's one of the things that it can do with the medium. Like Fate Stay Night. Yeah, it is. I think it's Fate Stay Night. I'm not going to look it up. But basically, this huge battle royale with these crazy AMV-style action sequences. And again, very graphic, so, viewer discretion will be aware. But it's very, very pretty. Very, very substance, or very spectacle-oriented. But the storyline is basically like old ancient heroes pick prodigies to go and fight in this Hunger Games tournament type thing. So, that's basically the story. So it's not like exciting. It's just what it is. It's a basic storyline. But when I watch an anime like that, I'm not watching it primarily for the story. I'm watching it for the spectacle. And that's the difference in what I think gaming is right now, because when you go into a game, you expect a game. You expect game mechanics, you expect this, but there are other ways to play. There are other ways that this medium can function. Take the visual novel genre, for instance. I'm a fan of visual novels. And, things like, I don't want... Dodgers playing through it. I'm going to create a sin and go to my history real quick, because I'm watching it. Fault Milestone. Fault Milestone 1 is a great example of a substance over spectacle. If anything, I would say the critique of that visual novel is that they explain too much. Nothing is left unexplained in that game. They don't leave ambiguity in there to kind of create as a mechanic. They explain literally all the mechanics of every magic thing that goes on, and ambiguity is just not left at all to the watcher, or I guess the reader / player. But it is a great story, and one that touches on theology, one that touches on what makes a human, what makes, pacifism versus warlike culture? Can you infringe on cultures, a magic culture being stuck and sucked into a world where they don't have magic? That type of thing. And it's just a lot of interesting tropes and discussions and thoughts come out of there. And I don't watch that for the action. I don't even watch it for the art. I watch it for the story. And what we need to communicate and realize in games is that if this is an interactive medium, it is not necessarily fun in games and putting on our armor and leveling up a zillion times. There are ways that this medium can be used to impact other genres and the way we communicate. As an example, I will give To the Moon, one of my favorite indie games of all time. It made me cry as a guy. Okay, just by the end of it, it made me cry. I got emotionally invested in that storyline. And what was the story? What was the gameplay? Linear. Go around and check objects to get the memory fragments with little dialogue scenes, then mixed with in between cutscenes. I tell you, it may look like it's made in Game Maker, but it didn't matter because the substance in the heart of that game was great enough to go beyond what its limits of style were. So it used its resources well. It's a little slow at times, but the story it changed me as a gamer once after playing it. Okay, that is what I'm after. I'm after experiences and trying to reach out and gain other things. I recently got Talos Principle. I'm looking forward to playing that through. That type of thing. I'm very much looking forward to experiences that inform me and inform other people. But sometimes, man, do I just want to let loose and kill a bajillion enemies. Sometimes I want to play a Dynasty Warriors game. Sometimes I want to play Vanquished, which actually combines both of what I'm talking about, style and substance, very well. There's not a dull moment in that game. You know what I mean? Sometimes I want to think, sometimes I don't. So that is my gamer life for this week. And, if you guys have any response to what I said, feel free to leave it in the comments below or on Alloy7's original video. If you feel inspired to make a video response, please post it to Alloy7. He will share it on all the social medias, all of that, and let me know about it because I love watching these gamer lives. You don't need to post the link in my chat or whatever. You can. I'll okay it, but I'm not the hub. Alloy is. I just want to know if you guys make a video response. Go ahead and post it in my chat as well. So thank you guys for tuning in and joining this discussion this week. Until we meet again, stay on target.